Losing fat has become so complex. There's so much misinformation out there. I understand why a lot of you guys fail and give up. Now, when I say that, I'm not talking about the individuals that are sitting on the couch crying and feeling bad for themselves because they can't figure out how to do it. I'm talking about the individuals that are trying every single day. They're trying different diets, they're trying different workouts, but they still can't get it right because they're following the wrong information. So today, I'm going to explain to you the foundations, and then at the end, I'm going to give you a 5-step actionable plan that you can implement in your life today to actually lose the fat. Let's start off with the foundations. You need to understand the basics of losing fat involves 2 steps: being in a calorie deficit and getting your nutrition in check. Now, I know you've heard calorie deficit all over the internet, but you need to understand why it actually works. Let's start with how it works. I'm going to give you an example. If I calculated my total maintenance calories is the amount of calories that it takes to currently maintain the body we have, right? If my maintenance calories, I calculate them and they're 1,000 calories. Now, to lose the fat, I need to go on a deficit of anywhere between 200 to 500 calories. 200 to 500 is a very healthy and sustainable range. Remember, you are a beginner. A reduction of 200 to 500 calories is already going to make you feel hungry enough. Another thing that you have to understand is that anything more than that is unsustainable in the long term and will only give you short-term results. You don't want to have a fit body for 3 to 6 months and then go back to being fat. You want to sustain that fit body for the rest of your life. So, let's say I decide to go on a deficit of 300 calories. So I'm going to take my maintenance calories, my 1,000 calories, I'm going to subtract 300 calories, and now my new maintenance calories is going to be 700 calories, meaning that every single day, I'm going to make sure that I'm intaking no more than 700 calories, and also no less, because you don't want to be starving yourself, okay? So, when you create a calorie deficit, you allow your body to burn more calories than you're actually consuming. So that portion that you're not consuming, that your body is burning, it's burning stored fat, which is essentially weight loss. Now, the second part to this is you need to get your nutrition in check, right? The first step to that is making sure that you're prioritizing consuming whole and nutrient-dense foods. Nutrient-dense foods are those foods that are high in nutrients, but they're relatively low in calories. For your protein, you can consume things like chicken, eggs, and tofu. For your carbs, focus on complex carbs like sweet potatoes and brown rice. For your fiber, focus on vegetables, fruits, and whole grains. And for your fats, focus on healthy fats like avocados, olive oil, and nuts. Part 2 to nutrition is portion control. You need to understand what the serving size is and what type of food are you actually putting into your body. That's portion control. The last and final step to your nutrition is balancing your macronutrients. You need to calculate your own distribution of the 3 macronutrients that you eat: your carbs, your fats, and your protein. Nutrition can be by far the most difficult and technical thing. So if you feel like you need further help with that, there's a link down in the description to book a free one-on-one strategy call with me where we'll sit down together, we'll analyze whatever situation you're in, and we'll see if it's right for us to work together. Now, when I say work together, I mean I will put a meal plan together for you. I will put a workout plan together for you. I will show you how to shift your mindset. And lastly, I will hold you accountable. That sounds like something you're interested in? Link down below in the description. Moving on into the second section is going to be my 2 key strategies for sustainable fat loss over time. Because remember, fat loss is a long-term game. We don't want short-term results. So the first step is going to be your strength training. Again, I know this is also something that you've heard all over the internet, but I want to explain to you why strength training is crucial for fat loss. When you strength train, you build muscle, and that muscle mass will allow you to burn calories even though you're resting. So even when you're resting, not doing anything, the muscle mass that you've built will help you to continue to lose calories and essentially burn the fat, lose the weight. The second strategy is going to be you need to start moving more throughout your day. Things like walking or standing instead of sitting, even if you just take a walk every hour. You need to transition from a sedentary lifestyle to an active lifestyle. Moving on to the next section, common myths and mistakes that people make during their fat loss journey. Number one, there are no quick fixes. I'm gonna say it again. There are no quick fixes, and your extreme diets are extremely unsustainable. They might give you quick results, but you won't be able to sustain those programs for the rest of your life. Stop trying to look for the quick fix. Stop trying these extreme diets. Number two, you cannot spot reduce fat. You cannot pick a specific part of your body and say, I'm gonna lose fat here first because that's where I want the fat gone. The fat loss process is a whole body thing. Mistake number three is overemphasizing cardio. A lot of you think that, oh, in order to lose weight, I gotta spend like an hour on the cardio machine, or I'm gonna make sure I spend all my time in the gym doing cardio. Okay, completely wrong, and I'm gonna explain to you why you need to be prioritizing your strength training over your cardio, because your strength training is gonna be the thing that's more efficient in losing the fat over a long period of time. Strength training builds muscle mass, and muscle mass is scientifically proven to be the tissue in your body that burns calories more than your other tissues, including your fat tissues, while you're resting. Remember, you're not spending all day in the gym. You're also not spending all your day actively. There are moments where you lay down to go to sleep, where you just sit down to relax, where you sit down to have a meal with your family. During those times, the muscle mass that you build is going to burn more calories than any of the other tissues in your body. So you need to be prioritizing your strength training over your cardio. Now, am I saying to not do cardio at all? No, cardio is very helpful, but it shouldn't take up the majority of your time at the gym. Next section is building good and healthy habits and shifting your mindset. The first part of this is, again, understanding that losing the fat is a long-term game. With that being said, we need to make realistic goals. As a beginner, you should aim to lose anywhere between 0.5 to 1 pound of body weight per week. For the second part, you need to start building healthy and good habits. In order to be consistent and to do this correctly, they need to be small, sustainable changes. Key word there is small, okay? If they're too big of a change, you're gonna wanna give up easier. So 2 small sustainable changes that you can make is you can start meal prepping, and you can start prioritizing your sleep. You might think, oh, well, this is not enough. You know, it's gonna take me way too long if I'm going at this pace. Well, guess what? If you keep trying to make big changes, you're gonna keep failing, which is gonna delay your progress even longer. So start with small changes and build up to bigger ones. The next and the last one, the most important one day does not mess up all your progress. But if you allow one day to stop you from getting back on track, the time you spent dwelling and feeling sorry for yourself is going to mess up all your progress. Now, last but not least, is the 5-step actionable plan that you can implement into your life today to actually start losing the fat. Step 1, I need you to calculate your current maintenance calories. Choose your deficit anywhere from 200 to 500, subtract that, and get your new maintenance calorie intake per day. That's step 1. Step 2 is going to be to track your food intake. Now, this step is optional, but I highly recommend it because it's very important to know the serving size of your food and the actual food that you're putting into your body. Again, that goes back to the portion control that we covered in nutrition. Step 3 is going to be, you need to be doing 2 to 3 sessions of strength training per week. A lot of people will tell you to do 4 or 5 training sessions, But keep in mind, this is for people that have already been going to the gym regularly. You are not one of those people. Remember, small sustainable changes, 2 to 3 times a week is fine. Step 4 is going to be increase daily movement, like we talked about in the strategies. But let me give you a goal that you can hit. Try to aim for anywhere between 8,000 to 10,000 steps per day. You can do this through the health and fitness app on your phone. It'll track your steps for you. Step number 5, you need to prioritize your rest, your recovery, your sleep, and your stress management. If you don't prioritize managing your stress, your cortisol levels will rise, which will actually hinder the fat loss process in your body. You're gonna slow down the time it takes for your body to actually shred the fat. So those are the 5-step actionable plan to actually start losing fat today. If this still sounds like too much, if you feel like you need further guidance, that's what I do. So link in the description to book a one-on-one call with me. You tell me your situation, we figure out if it's right for me and you to work together, and we'll get you started right away. But beyond that, I hope that you learned something new in this video and you're gonna see change. Remember, regardless of what it is, if you wanna succeed in something, you need consistency.